Welcome back to the shop. Now they say that the devil is in the details. I have absolutely no idea what that means, but we're going to detail this engine bay. Hey guys, real quick, before you double tap and fast forward this, I started another channel to follow a new business venture that I have just started, and it's making money and it's working. If you're interested in that, check the link in the description below for my second channel on my new business. All right, so if you've ever done this before, it is, it's just labor. It's just sanding and painting is what this is. And I have what I believe to be the best paint product for engine bays. Let me show you over here what I did to the Falcon. If you have not seen the video of my my engine bay prep and everything on the Falcon, I'll link a card, or I'll put a card up there, or maybe it's over here. I don't know. I'll put a card somewhere, and you can check that out. But my process for that is the same thing I'm going to use here, and I'm really happy with it. Let me turn you around here so you can take a look here. So there's a lot of wiring here. So, I mean, I'm not going to change any of that because it's all going back together the same way, but I'm going to pull it all down and I'm going to tidy it all up and paint everything back behind it, sand everything. And oh, look at this. All those scratches in there, those are probably from that Monte Carlo bar beating the crap out of everything from install. So we will we'll fix that. Back up there. And what we'll do, well, we're painting the car too, so I don't know yet what I'm going to do here. I'll probably back mask it and then feather the paint in here, so when I pull the fenders off for paint, I can do the rest of this. That's probably what I'll do. And but yeah, all this stuff is going to be that same satin black all the way back under the cowl and everything. I might pull the cowl off. I don't remember if it can come off with, there's screws along the front. The 69 and 70 Mustangs, the cowl is removable, but I don't know if there's fasteners under here. I can't remember. So that might end up staying and being masked. I don't know yet. But yeah, it's just going to be a lot of me and some 400 wet dry and just pulling all this stuff back. Probably going like section by section because I can't pull all this stuff out. I mean, I can, but then if I did pull it all out, I would end up in this boat. That's why this car has taken forever, because I blew it totally apart. But this car's going right back together, and I think what I'm going to do is just go section by section. So like the front part, I'll tidy it and then pull everything, paint it, put everything back up, and then just go section by section all the way around until we've got it all wrapped up. So let's start pulling this stuff off, and I guess the wiring is going to be the first order of business with the battery and all this stuff. So let's start there. All right, we're going to get all this stuff pulled off here. The battery is disconnected. It's got a quick disconnect over there. Use my favorite speed wrench here. Take pictures of all this stuff and where everything's at, because even though I have video of it, it's just so much easier to go back into my phone and find where everything is rather than going through like hours of video footage. Oh, man. What the heck happened? All right, guys, clearly I'm fine. It's just DC voltage. It maybe tickles a little bit, but more than anything, it just surprised me. Okay, so I got this side finished up here, and I've got this detailed painted. I got to do a few more things to hang this big fuse back in. I'm going to probably rearrange those wires the best I can. I'm moving around the back here. I'm gonna get this detailed, and then I'm gonna jump onto the master cylinder. That's gonna be the thing for the day, is master cylinder and the lines for that. Well, this is cute. Oh yeah. That's gonna require some attention. I don't know what happened, but that is that's gonna need some work. I got the other side taken apart, and it's better, but it's still not pretty. At least the nut plates are here. I may not have to reinforce this side. It looks good, but this one's blown out, so I'll figure it out. But at least now I can reach all the brake stuff and get all that stuff pulled out and redone. All right, guys, I got around to the other side now, and let me let you take a look at this. So I removed the booster, and because I got to redo all these brake lines. This is the factory proportioning valve, and you can tell it's been adapted and worked with over the years, so that's coming out. But the factory lines are going into the bottom of it, and it's bolted through the apron here, so I'm gonna have to unbolt that. But some interesting things I found is I don't think this car was originally a power brake car, because the hole opened up for the booster. It's kind of been wallered out. You can see it's not perfectly round, and it's looks like someone used a hole saw on it from the other side. No big deal. That's not a huge deal. And down here on the master, someone welded a plate to the wall. You can see the burn marks on the inside. But it's not a terrible job. I mean, it's firm. It's probably not how I would have done it, but honestly, it's fine. It's pretty good, with the exception of the geometry on the inside. Let me see if I can show you how they made it work on the inside. Is they ended up, let me see if I can get under here. They ended up bending, I don't know if you can see the bend in that push rod, but that push rod is bent to get it to line up with what they wanted it to line up with. So maybe you can't see it from that angle, but it is bent pretty good. But it clears everything. I mean, let me see, I'll actuate it here. You can see, I don't know if you can see the bend pretty good there, but it is bent, but it's working. These are the things you find when you work on these old cars that have had a lot of different hands in them. And it's not that any of this work is wrong. It could have been done different or better, but there are things like that to me, it works, and it's really not worth undoing. You know what I mean? It's fine. It's safe. I would have done it different initially, but since the work's done and it's in there and it's functional, I'm just gonna leave it. But moving on, we're gonna get all the factory lines pulled out and get our stuff placed in there. You ever dug into a project and you're like, it's not gonna be that bad? And you're like, I'm just gonna do this. But then in order to get to this, you gotta take apart that. And then when you find that, you're like, that wasn't done right, so you gotta move this other thing. And then once that other thing's moved, you find another thing, and then you're like, what the fuck was I doing? It's not that bad. But I ended up having to cut out the factory proportioning valve, because the lines have been on there so long they just would not move, and I was stripping the nuts off. So I cut them off, so I'm gonna have to flare the ends. The line is still good. I just cut them off. Let me show you. So the lines, here are the lines. They're still good. I just pinched them off with a set of diagonal cutters. So I'm gonna have to cut them with a little whirly-do and then get it all cleaned out and press some new flares into it. And then I'm trying to figure out where I want to run the new proportioning valve. And honestly, I think the only spot that's like good is probably right down here. But just to be able to get to it better, I'm gonna pull that clutch master off. And yeah, look down there. There's you see that gap? That I know 2 seconds ago I literally said I'm just gonna leave it, but So a mounting flange on anything is designed to take the load of it. That's the purpose of a flange. If the studs were meant to take the load of something, there would be no flange. But the flange of that master cylinder is sitting out in the middle of space, and the studs are taking all of the load. Actually, the ears on the master are taking all the load. I might try and shim that up just to even that out so the weight is dispersed or distributed a little bit better. But honestly, it's foot pressure, so I think it's like probably 15-20 pounds or something like that. It's not enough to damage it. I'm trying to let my OCD just go. But I want this car to be pretty squared away for Uncle Mike. So little things like that I'm probably going to have to fix. All right, guys, that's it for today. I think we're going to leave it at that. We got the front end torn apart here, all the brake stuff off. And here, let me flip you around. We've got that all apart, ready to start going back together. I had to order some new lines and fittings and stuff for 3/16 brake line. But yeah, that stuff's going to be ready to start going back together. I'm going to strip the components off this and detail and paint that stuff so it all looks good. But that's it for this one, guys. Uncle Mike's Mustang is moving along. It's slow sometimes when you've got a million things going on, a business and a full-time job and all this stuff. And this poor car, this poor car. I'm going to do some work on this car. I got the engine in the car, and it's waiting for wiring and gas in the tank, and that's it. I mean, I've got everything for this car. So that's going to come soon. But again, thanks, guys, as always, for checking me out. Please like, comment, subscribe to the videos. Helps me out. Last I looked, we had 660-something subscribers. If I can break 700 this month, I will be super pumped. Looking for that magical 1,000 number, and you guys are going to help me get there. Thank you so much. See ya soon.